What are you looking at, Mar? Hey, what's going on, y'all? BBQ Dropout here. So if you're wondering what the average brisket price you can find in the store or wherever you happen to be shopping at, just know that regardless of the weight or the grade itself, you can expect a whole packer style brisket to be anywhere from about $1.99 a pound to about $4.99 a pound. Now, and this obviously depends on, obviously multiple factors like where you're located, meaning like what state or what city you're in, what stores you're actually shopping at. I'm actually here in Central Texas, so I just go to HEB, and they sell some really good quality brisket, prime grade brisket for about $3.99 a pound. You can get select grade brisket, or it used to be this way, for about $1.99 a pound, and then for choice grade, you could probably score one for about maybe $2.99 a pound. So as you start to go up in the upper echelons of the different grades of brisket for the packer style briskets, which are basically those big monster ones you see in the little meat counters, it's going to be going up about $1 or so per pound in weight per grade. So in terms of like what the average brisket in general costs, there's really two main things you need to know. Number one is the price per pound. As I just mentioned, for select grades, you can expect somewhere around the ballpark estimate of about $1.99 a pound. Choice grade is about $2.99 a pound, and prime grade is about $3.99 a pound. Now, that's not the only thing that goes into actually the overall total cost of ownership of a particular brisket. There's different aspects of, okay, how much can it weigh, or how much can it cost, and that's due to the fact of how much it can actually weigh. Now, the average size of a brisket is about like maybe 10 to 20 pounds. Let's just use like 15 pounds as an example. Well, you can use that estimation, let's say, of about $3.99 a pound, or let's be generous or not so generous and say about $4.99 a pound for maybe like a Wagyu or really expensive like prime or all natural type of brisket. So for a 15-pound packer at about $4.99 a pound, you can expect to pay for one for the grand total price of about $74. To me, that's really kind of a great bargain because compared to other specialty cuts of meat like ribeye, New York strip, all those other types of meats, sure, like in real terms, like they're a little bit less in price, but I mean the quantity that you get is like the size of my fist. You only get like maybe like less than a pound or something for like $16 a pound or something in price. So when you think about it that way, you're actually really taking advantage of volume and the actual like kind of bulk discount, if you will, in terms of like how much you would expect to pay for a brisket. So in my opinion, if you're looking to eat on the cheap and you like smoking meat, get a brisket, because I actually eat brisket pretty much every day, right? Barbecue like every day. And brisket is a very cost-effective way of getting really good quality meat, prime grade, American Wagyu types of or style or quality of meat for like $3 to $4.99 a pound. And to me, that's a pretty good deal. And in terms of like why brisket in general may be considered expensive, there's really two main things. Number one, like cow or cattle shortages or beef shortages. I know like right now we're dealing with a lot of supply chain issues, but from what I understand, there's a lot of beef shortages for whatever reason, and just general inflation. So I know that can hike up the prices even more. I know literally a couple of years ago here in Texas at HEB, I could buy regularly prime grade brisket for $1.99 a pound, no joke. And I have pictures of it too, I can find somewhere. And now that same type of brisket on a per pound basis is at about, again, $3.99 a pound. Some areas like Costco are at about $4.99 a pound. Now, that brings me to the other side of the equation where, okay, so you have supply going down, demand is going up, prices are going up. That's going to make the total cost of ownership for your brisket even more, because you are paying for a gigantic piece of meat. So those are some things to keep in consideration as well, that yes, you are buying a very large piece of meat, so it can seem like a very expensive purchase. I mean, you're paying $80 in one transaction for a piece of barbecue, and you know, at a service level, that does seem like it's fairly expensive, and you know, it probably is for a lot of people, myself included, if you're to be doing that fairly consistently. But you have to just think of like the per pound basis and really all the quality and the quantity that you're getting for that overall like $80 or something. So if you're wondering how much like a 10-pound brisket costs, all you have to do is take how much it costs per pound. So let's use an example of like $3.99 a pound. That's, man, what? That's like $39 or about $40 or something. Well, that's basically a $40 transaction for a prime grade 10-pound piece of meat. To me, that's not a bad deal. So, in summation, you know, if you're wondering whether or not brisket is cheap or expensive, honestly, it's a little bit of both. And again, in real terms, like, yes, you are paying about almost $100 or so per overall brisket that you're buying, but on a per pound basis, and for the quality of meat, you can't beat it. I mean, it's pretty dang cheap compared to ribeye, New York strip, prime rib, tenderloin. I know tenderloin is like almost $30 a pound, and a little like teacup size little hockey puck of a little flank steak is like $100 or something. And for that little hockey puck little thing, you can get a giant, literally like 10-pound, 15, 20-pound pack of brisket for very cheap, and it's good quality. So again, I love brisket, and I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys don't mind Mara Shepard being in here. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.